here for a Riff Mag with Steph from the band called Lez Zeppelin. That band here. Hello, Steph.
Hello.
We're very pleased to be here with you. And so, first of all, what I would like you to speak about would be the name, the name of the band. Well, we all know Led Zeppelin, and of course it's very close. But why Lez? And
it's that one letter, isn't it, that makes all the difference.
Could you explain that difference?
Well, I would think it'd be obvious. I mean, a Z instead of a D. Well, you know, basically, the idea was that all girls playing Led Zeppelin. There you have it.
Okay, so how did the idea came into your mind to form like an old girl band playing covers from Led Zeppelin?
I think it was a spell that was put on me by Jimmy or something. No, it was you know, really I fell in love with the music and was listening to it a lot and was so amazed at how good it sounded still. You know, even in so long after the demise of the group, I just thought it sounded even better next to so much stuff that didn't sound very good. And I just really wanted to indulge my fantasy of playing the guitar parts and getting into it for fun. Really, it was very innocent. And I decided to put a band together, and then I realized I had to find the right girls, and that was a little tricky, but it happened. And we practiced and practiced, and when we went out to play, it was very clear that it was a good idea. So here we are, 10 years later.
So you played first in New York, then you toured around the United States a little bit as well?
Yeah, I mean, within about a year and a half, we were touring a lot. And then it just got to be more and more, and we toured all of the U.S. I mean, I've been to all 50 states many times, more than once. We've toured in Germany and Belgium a lot. We've been to France a couple times, England times, been to India, Japan. It's really been exciting. It's great.
Have you met the guys from Led Zeppelin?
We have. Well, I've met them all. But the whole band, Jimmy Page came to see us play last year when we were in London. So we played at the Isle of Wight, which was exciting enough. But then we went and did a London show, and Jimmy came along.
Did you know he was in the venue at the venue?
I did. Well, I knew that he was probably going to come because he called to tell me he was going to come, which was unbelievable. So yeah, so I talked to him, and you know, he'd wanted to see the band for a while. He's known about the band, and he was in the studio, but he said that he was most likely going to come. So it was. I did not know until the very end of the show. I didn't see him until I didn't. The other girls knew, but they didn't want to tell me, because I was doing the bow solo and all. He walked in while I was doing Dazed and Confused. So it was really fun. But by the end, I looked out and I saw the white hair, you know, I was like, oh, that's him. So it was great. It was really, really incredible.
And how did you get here in Hellfest, which is like rather extreme music festival?
Well, you know, I think that our French promoter just thought that it would be a really good match. And, you know, we've played a couple of really hard rock festivals before. We've played Download, which is really a similar thing. It's very, you know, heavy. And I think putting a band like ours with such classic rock into it is so great for everybody. Everyone loves it because it's a little bit of like a refreshing, different thing, and everyone knows the music, so it works really, really well.
As a little pause in all this extreme music.
And usually the only girls.
Speaking of which, how is it to to be, how hard is it to, or how easy is it to be like to be like a girl in such a manly environment?
Well, we're used to it, but it always amazes me that there aren't more women. I suppose in this arena of really hard rock, it's even more extreme. But even now, it's still a man's, le monde du masculine. Oui? Yeah. It's not common, but there usually is a little bit of skepticism from the stage crews and everything. They don't really think we're going to play it the right way. So it's always fun to play and have everyone go, oh, yeah, they've done it.
So you think that because you're girls, people tend to have like ideas that are maybe not true, or that they tend to think that you're going to do less good than men would do?
Yes, absolutely.
And do they treat you differently?
Sometimes. Sometimes what you get is, a little bit of we're going to have to work, usually from I hate to say it, but from the sound guys and stuff like that. The audience, too, is sometimes, are they really going to do it? And then they, you see it on their face. What was that? So the jaws drop. But usually you get attitude from some of the people when they're, but once you start to play, you have to prove yourself over and over again. We ignore it. At this point, it doesn't bother us anymore. It's like, who cares what they think?
So you know what you're capable of doing, and then whatever the rest.
You can't let it get to you after. I mean, who really cares? It's the fans that matter, and you've got it, doing the music justice. But it is definitely, you have to overcome that sort of attitude, and sometimes it's an uphill battle. But you just sort of, I think at this point, if you don't let it bother you, then they don't have any power. There's no power in it.
And so yep.
It's a bit strange when you have examples like, Wendy Williams from Plasmatics, Doro Pesh, Girls School, all these bands, L7, all these bands with girls that really had the name and add something to the rock scene. Don't you find it like almost impossible to understand why it's still this manly world, and why don't they let more girls come into it? Because I think it's already more than proven that girls can rock and will rock, even sometimes harder than men.
No, it's a very good question. I mean, I don't really understand the total dynamic of it. Is it that there are many women out there and nobody pays attention to them? Or is it that there aren't that many women out there? I think it's a cyclical thing. I think, people ask me, who are my guitar heroes? And I have to say, okay, mostly they're men, so it's just and then the more that happens, the harder it is. But I think it's getting better. I think there are many more women now than there were. So
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. We could talk about that for hours.
Oh, yeah.